It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live discussion. This one again is another one of those live discussion videos that I'm going to be putting out. This one was a more or less spontaneous one. I've been thinking about doing this video, but I didn't know how it was going to work out because most of it will just be me ranting. But I just thought that maybe I'll do this as a live discussion video as well. I don't know how many people are going to see my reminder on the Facebook page of the channel and actually join us here. But, you know, it's just one of those videos that I really wanted to put out to talk to you guys about the nature of, you know, what we have today. Because it feels like spoilers are everywhere, and, you know, clickbait videos, spoilers, and all of that is maybe to an extent, like I say in the title, ruining The Walking Dead. And the biggest thing that I want to talk about with you guys is, do you guys think that spoilers are ruining The Walking Dead? Because just going from my experiences, and you can definitely share your thoughts in the chat that I have open. I will be reading through those as well in a little bit. But from my experience, I feel like as far as The Walking Dead is concerned, nowadays, it seems like everywhere that you look at on YouTube, it's filled with not only spoiler news, but leaked information, and also clickbait titles and everything that, you know, make you want to click stuff that you click and you see that it's not what you think it is, and it ends up spoiling other things for you and all of that. Now, I have nothing against spoiler websites and spoiler channels. They do them, I do me. You know, they have different tastes, they have different kind of approaches towards things, but at the same time, you are taking away from something from others. You know what I mean? If what you're putting out there is spoiling it for others, then you didn't do a good job protecting that information in terms of making it only be available to people that are looking for that. You know what I mean? As an example, I had the first experience, let's talk about this. The first experience I had with spoilers was, of course, the season 7 premiere. I had both Glenn and Abraham's death spoiled for me way before the actual episode aired, and weeks and weeks and weeks before anything came out regarding, like, for example, trailers and things like that. So one thing, I found that information, those spoilers, through YouTube, because I was looking for teasers, trailers, information, just to maybe do some research for the new season that was coming up, and I ended up getting spoiled on both of those deaths. And of course, the magnitude of that spoiler was so big that everyone knew about it way before the episode actually came out. So the spoilers were out way before we actually knew what was going on. So that was one instance. And then, of course, going into season 8, Carl's death was spoiled for me and everybody else, but it was good because it was spoiled a week or 2 weeks before the episode aired, so it wasn't like 6 months in advance as it was with Abraham and Glenn's death, but still, it was a big, massive death that was spoiled. Same kind of thing goes for Rick's death. Now, even though Rick's death wasn't really spoiled through spoiler websites, one of the main things or main reasons why I think AMC and the others revealed that information early was because they wanted to keep that for themselves. So they wanted to reveal it before it was spoiled so that they could basically put some kind of control over it. And again, if there were no spoilers, if spoilers weren't a big part of it, and they didn't reveal that information, maybe we would be going with much more excitement into this season 9, and also maybe Rick's death or potential death would have hit us harder than it would now, or it will now, because we know it's coming. So with that said, again, I have nothing against Spoiling the Dead fans, which is the main spoiler website that's out there that brings out spoiler and leaked information for The Walking Dead, but also other channels that do spoiler videos or talk about spoilers. Going to name them, but I don't want to start any type of drama here. I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of which channels I'm talking about. So there are two main channels, the PT channel and 999 Gaming. Both of those channels are spoiler channels. So they talk about spoilers. Now, I have not really watched them, but once spoilers do come out and when the cat's basically out of the bag, I do check out their channel to see, you know, what they are saying, whether this, how credible the information basically is. But I have really tried to, if it's not, or stay away from that if it's not spoiled already for me. But again, nothing against those channels. They have their styles, I have my style, and channels like my channel have our styles in terms of not doing any spoiler type of videos. But, you know, just overall, I feel like these bad experiences that we're having has a lot to do with the spoilers that are coming out. And I feel like, as I said in my title, spoilers are ruining the Walking Dead experience for us fans that don't want to know spoilers. But I want to know everyone's opinions about this. What do you guys think? So I'm just going to jump right into the comments here. So we have Ken, the God Gaming. He said something, but he retracted it. So I'm not sure what that's about. And then you say maybe. Giuseppe De Rosa, hey Ash. Hey, how are you doing, Giuseppe? Ken, the God Gaming. I mean, most of the time it's true. Yeah, most of the time things that come out are spoiled. Like when they say a spoiler's out, it happens. So it basically tells you what happens. And if you don't want to know, I guess it's too bad for you if you find it anyway. Animated Alex, I hope Rick wears his hat one last time before he dies. He might wear the hat, but it's not going to have the badge on it. But let's get back to the discussion about spoilers here. Ken the God Gaming, but they say spoilers at the beginning of their videos. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes the titles themselves are spoilery. For example, with Glenn and Abe's death, it was basically they basically had like, or I don't know if it was those channels specifically, but it was channels like that, where they basically had Glenn's image and they had spoilers, or Abraham's image and they said spoilers, spoiler warning, or something like that. So there are things that kind of reveal it for you, kind of spoil it for you. The magnitude of that spoiler was so big, like I said, where you had no choice. You had to know about the spoilers because they were everywhere. But like I say, whether it's a little bit our fault as in terms of content creators, where we have to be more careful looking through things, but at the other spectrum of things, you know, if those information are out there, then I think creators that are doing that type of video need to be more vigilant and more aware of who might be watching, you know. I know that it's got a lot better recently, but it was so bad in the past that, you know, they basically just spoiled what the video was about in the title or the image without even talking, or without even, if you don't watch it, you'll know it. So I feel like, yes, I agree with you. They do say it at the beginning of their spoilers, and it's got a lot better now. But overall, we're just talking about, you know, the spoilers that are out there. Because, of course, like I said, even Rick's death, why did they reveal that information, AMC and Andrew Lincoln, ahead of time? Because they didn't want it to come out through spoiler websites. So I feel like a big portion of the discussion that we have is the spoiler websites themselves. Again, I have nothing against the spoiler websites, I understand, but why is it necessary for people to talk about or create videos talking about spoiler information that's out there? If they're going to do that, why not create some sort of, not necessarily a YouTube channel that's public, but some sort of closed channel so that you only join if you're interested in that kind of material. So that way they could more or less keep a cap around the information that's coming out. Anna Hume, hi Ash, hi, how are you doing? Glad you could join. Animated Alex, I used to watch spoilers around season 7 and I knew everything that was going to happen, but around season 8 I stopped. So yeah, spoilers are bad. Yes, for season 7, like I said, some of those spoilers we had no control over. For example, Glenn and Abe's death, we did not have control over as content creators. We had to get the information. It was just out there. Even channels that stay away completely from spoilers, like Mikipath Presents and Ronnie Hayes, they knew about that information as well because it came out. Everyone knew about it. But also there were other big moments that were kind of leaked or spoiled ahead of time, and that did definitely ruin the experience going into the episode. Animated Alex, they do it for views, definitely, and I understand that. But a part of that is that, you know, they should think of the community as a whole and not just their community, which is the spoiler community. You know what I mean? Anahum, yes, I used to belong to the Spoiling Dead. When I realized it wasn't enjoyable, never spoiled for others though. Yeah, that makes sense. And coming from someone that was in a group like that as you were, I definitely understand that you join a blog or a closed group to find spoilers, and I get that. That makes sense. You want to get that information, but if you're getting that information and either spoiling it for others unwillingly or willingly, that's just ruining their experiences. Animated Alex, and it made it boring for me, and clickbait. Yeah, again, there's two discussions. One is clickbait videos and one is spoiler videos. Both of those are ruining the experiences, I feel like. Because for clickbait videos, I feel like nowadays when I see a video on YouTube that talks about Walking Dead that I do want to check out, I don't know whether they're actually talking about that or whether it's just a clickbait title or an image. So, you know, that kind of makes me not want to click on certain videos because, you know, they might be saying something and they might be talking about something completely different. And yeah, like you say, going back to spoilers, yeah, they definitely make it boring for me as well. When I watch spoilers or when spoilers come out, when I read about spoilers, when I get into the episodes, you know, it's no longer enjoyable. It's no longer exciting because it's predictable. I know what happens. And it's just, like I said, sometimes in season 7 it got so bad that the actual script was leaked. And it was like, what's the point of even watching the episode now? And I assume, yes, the big channels have mods going through the comments, but yes, it was their websites do closed site. Yeah, and that goes back to what I said. If it's a closed site, it makes sense. People that are only interested in that can go and check it out. But if it's an open and public channel, and if you are not really trying to, or you're doing your best to make people click it, and you're not making it, or you're not making everyone aware that you're talking about spoilers, like I said, it's got a lot better, but it was really bad, then, you know, you're potentially spoiling it and ruining it for those that might not be interested. Animated Alex, and they need the ad revenue, and that makes sense as well, but at the same time, you know, the clickbait videos, if it's just a clickbait video and they don't talk about spoilers, then I understand. But if they do a video that has spoilers in it and they do clickbait, then it just does not make sense. Because if you're doing a clickbait video, you want people to click it. And then people click, and then you say, or you don't even say sometimes, but you get into spoilers. And it's like, maybe you should make this very easy to understand, I guess. I don't know how I say it, but in the title, for example, let's just say it this way. When I did videos where I knew about the spoilers and I was just talking about them, I made it clear in the title and the thumbnail, I am talking about spoilers. Don't click this if you don't want to know spoilers. And I give many warnings in the videos. But you know, some people don't do that. Some channels don't do that. And like I said, it just ruins it for everybody else. And it's got a lot better now. But at the same time, how do you define better? Because AMC and The Walking Dead's cast and crew had to reveal that information ahead of time so that it doesn't come out. You know what I mean? So essentially, it hasn't really got better because they are just putting the information out there, basically spoiling their own material so that it doesn't get spoiled through external sites. And I assume quite often they can guess the spoilers from who's filming, for example, looking at the trailers, guessing the comic storylines. So that's kind of okay. Yeah, that's kind of okay. I understand that, but like you say, looking at who's been filming. Why do we need to know who's been filming? You know, I'm just being very honest with you guys. Why do we need to know that information? Do we not want to know that information because we want to know who's filming so that we can eliminate people that might be dead or something like that? You know what I mean? So it kind of goes back and forth, because even though that doesn't really spoil it, if you're looking for that kind of information, you're automatically, I guess, subconsciously looking for spoilers anyway. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, can't believe it's a week until The Walking Dead Season 9. Yes, very excited, but like going back to our discussion, I would have been more excited if I didn't know about Rick's potential death. Animated Alex, however, for me, it's minor spoilers. I don't care as much because it doesn't ruin the experience. And there are spoilers, or spoilers vary. There are some spoilers where if you even know, doesn't matter, doesn't make that much of a difference. Some spoilers, they do affect the experience. They do make it so that it ruins the experience for you. So you could make the case both ways, I think. Anahum, I think they also said that when, or with Lincoln leaving, it was also to prepare fans so they didn't get the reaction like they did for Carl's death. That's a completely valid point, and if that's the case, then yeah, we could justify it to an extent. But I feel as a community, as a Walking Dead community, we've got a little bit, or we've gotten too much into spoilers and that kind of information and things like that, so that if it's something that's completely different, we automatically think that it was spoilers. You know what I mean? What I'm saying here is basically that. What I'm saying with Andrew Lincoln, revealing it before it happens and saying that it's because of spoilers, maybe you're right. Maybe it's not because of that. Maybe they were just trying to lessen the reaction. And that completely makes sense. But what makes me think about that as the immediate thing? It's because of my experiences, right? It's because of my past, I guess, spoilers impacting me in the past. So I feel like you have a valid point, but at the same time, if there were a better way to keep the spoilers away from people who don't want to see it, then maybe we wouldn't be at this point. You know what I mean? Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, hey Ash, you excited for a season finale of season 4 tonight? Yes, I am excited. However, I'm a little disappointed because I feel like they can't really do anything that exciting in the finale, because the story is very flow forward and we know what's going to happen. We kind of know where everything is heading. So they can't really do anything to shock us, you know what I mean? But I am excited to see how they bring this season to a close. Animated Alex and spoilers aren't necessarily reliable too. Most of them are not, but spoilers that do come from Spoiling Dead fans, I think that's what they're called, they are reliable. They're very reliable. Anahum, but yes, saying who is filming is getting into real spoiler territory, whereas guessing the clever trailer analysis is okay. Yeah, like doing a breakdown of the trailer, that's completely fine. I do that on this channel. But if we're really looking at who's been filming, and for example, looking at who's filming on set, saying, oh, John Bernthal is filming. What does that mean? Does that mean Rick is dying? Oh, that means Rick is dying and everything. So that's really getting into spoiler territory for me. Like, why do we even need to look at who's filming and get into information like John Bernthal filming? That's going to reveal information about Rick's death. You know what I mean? Epic Zombie Killer Q&A Hash, are you going to make a prediction video for Season 5 of Fear after the finale tonight? I might do it a little later, but probably not this week, maybe next week. I do want to do a video later this week for the channel. Very exciting news for the channel. and things that you should be excited for as well, I hope. But we are getting, or I am getting back into daily videos. You might have already been able to tell, but I'm going to have some very exciting news for those of you that follow the channel and support the channel. So stay tuned later this week because I do have some very exciting news for you guys. Animated Alex, one point I forgot to mention. I'm not saying all spoiler channels are greedy. No, they're not. I agree. They're not all greedy. Some spoiler websites put spoilers out because some people just want to know. Some people need to know. I understand that. But it's just about how you kind of look at it and how everyone else uses that information. And, you know, whether they are doing it for greedy reasons. So the spoiler channel might not necessarily, or a spoiler website might not necessarily want to spoil it for others. They might not be greedy, but others that do follow that might put out information or things out there that are revealing it for others, and they're doing it for greedy purposes. You know what I mean? Epic Zombie Killer Q&A Hash, do you see Fear getting a 6th season? Is it possible? From what we know now, maybe. But let's see what happens in season 5, and let's see whether there is even going to be a season 6. You know what I mean? In terms of story, like if they completely end the story in season 5, then of course there's going to be no season 6. But if they leave it open and there's potential for more seasons, there's definitely a possibility they'll do more seasons. And just want to talk to you guys about something else as well. Going back to clickbait videos. So, I don't know if, or how many of you were here for one of the live that I had where I said I'm going to do an experiment. Where I'm going to do 2 potentially closely related videos. Or videos that talk about pretty much the same thing. But I'm going to make one of them have a clickbait title. And I'm going to see whether that impacts how many people watch and how many views I get. And I can actually share the results with you now. What I found is that, yeah, clickbait videos definitely do get you more views. But at the same time, is it not worth it? Because for some it is, but is it fair to people that are watching? That's the biggest thing. So I'll just show you guys here. So I did one video like 2 weeks ago, maybe it was a week ago, where the title of the video was Will Negan's Escape, or Will Negan Escape Negan's Fate? That was the title of the video, and I basically had a few shots of Rick and Negan comparing between comic material and show material, and I got 48 views. And then I did another video that was potentially talking about a similar thing, and I said Negan connected to Rick's death theory. And I got 160 views for that. That just shows. I mean, if I was to make that title even more clickbait and say Rick connected to Rick's, or Negan connected to Rick's death, or confirmed, or for example, does Negan kill Rick, or something like that, I would have got even more views, I feel. And that goes back to, yeah, it's worth it. We do get more views as content creators, but is it fair to people watching? Anaheim, I'm so sad that Fear has become so I can't say that. Okay, I'm gonna skip that. I know what you mean. I think they were so worried about the viewing figures, they stuck to the previously successful formulae. That was how you say it. Like the group splitting up, etc. Yeah, definitely there's a lot of stuff in Fear that's getting repetitive. And it's like they're using the same formula over and over again. And it's predictable, really. Splitting up, getting back together, splitting up, getting back together. You know, making it look like someone's gonna die and then someone's gonna save the day and they're gonna survive. That's in both shows as well. More in Fear, of course. But yeah, it's the same formula that they're using. It's just, it feels like it's getting less or it's getting underwhelming because it's predictable and because it's not exciting anymore. Because we know what's happening and they're not doing anything exciting, really. Epic Zombie Killer. I feel Martha is bad for the show. It'll be better if they kill her in the finale. She's the main reason why this back half is weak. Yeah. She's definitely made this half weaker than, you know, what it was. Maybe a better villain would have helped. But, yeah, I completely agree. They need to kill her. And so maybe when they do that, then maybe we'll get some more exciting material. First half of season 4 was not great, but it was good. It was solid. And then the second half, it feels formulaic. I don't know how you say that. I know you put that, but I can't pronounce it. You can make fun of me there. But yeah, there's a lot of formula, like they're following the same formula in the second half, and they just don't have any exciting story to tell, really. AJYT Abbott, this is sort of off topic, but let's hope Martha gets a nice bullet hole in her head tonight via Morgan. That would be cool. Or get a stick to the throat from Morgan, like what she did to the other guy that we saw in a couple episodes ago. That would be cool too. Animated Alex. Let me see. Sometimes, also, I feel like the Walking Dead community confuses clickbait with other good The Walking Dead YouTubers, and I think, like Ronnie Hayes, are clickbaiting. Yeah, there are some Ronnie Hayes videos that he does some clickbait, and yeah, I agree with that, but I do that too sometimes. And it's just a matter of, do we think it's fair to people that are going to click? And if it's completely different than what we talk about, then it's not fair, I think. But if it's close a little bit, then it makes sense. You know what I mean? Again, it just goes back to whether it's fair for the viewers. AJYT Abbott, I kind of wish they kept Proctor John around. Don't even get me started with Proctor John. That was a waste of a villain. Even, I think he was an even worse villain than Martha, I feel. Anahum, yeah, also, yes, first half was good. First half was good, yes, definitely. A solid half, not great, but a solid half. But this second half, it's just been disappointing, really. That's all I can say. Animated Alex or a stick to the brain. That would be cool too. Epic Zombie Killer. I definitely agree with people saying the Walking Dead franchise is getting stale. It is. It is to an extent, and it goes back to what other stories can they tell? It's the zombie apocalypse. What kind of story can they tell? And my answer to that is, what does the comics do? Why is the comics still relevant? Not saying Walking Dead show is not relevant, but why is it still popular? Not as popular again for the comics even, but why is the comics popular still? And the show is not as popular. Why is that? Why have they been able to tell more interesting stories in the comic book? You know, it's the same sort of thing. Anahum, Martha is the straight up meanest bad guy. She's the craziest for sure. Epic Zombie Killer, Anahum, Martha is just an awful villain in general. Yeah, she's not my favorite. And I don't have any connection with her. Even if they kill her, I'll be happy. If they don't, I'll be disappointed. Let's just go with that. AJYT Abbott, Fear hasn't had a solid villain since Troy, and he was more of an anti-hero at some points. Troy was an anti-hero. He wasn't a villain. Troy was the Walking Dead equivalent of Shane, I feel. And I don't agree with you there, though. They had a great villain that was what was his name? The owner of the ranch that they went to. That was a good villain. They could have done a lot more with the villain, but that was a good villain, I feel. Anahum, AJYT Abbott, the characters created in season 3 were great, and Proctor John was the most sinister character for sure. To an extent, but they didn't really do with him much. I might be completely wrong about this, but I think he was only in like 2 episodes. Animated Alex, I think the Vultures should have stuck around longer. I saw Gimpo wrote that. The Vultures were great, but wasted. Waste of characters, I feel. So, I agree with you there. And going back to Scott Gimple having wrote them, maybe he did. Maybe he did. Who knows? Animated Alex, the Governor is worst. No, the Governor had some good storylines in the show even. Epic Zombie Killer, that's the problem with Fear. They kill off all the interesting characters too quickly. One of the key problems with Fear. Definitely. AJYT Abbott, yeah, you're right. That was Jeremiah Otto. Yeah, that's his name, Jeremiah. Animated Alex, I agree. Anaheim, the connection with Martha is always Lenny's character. Is through Lenny's character. Being stuck like him. Oh, Lenny James, yeah. Troy, I love Troy. Why did he die? Yeah, Troy was great. I feel like he started off bad. I didn't like him initially, but he grew on me. Animated Alex, like the wolves and termites. The wolves were even done better than the vultures. The termites were done 20 times better than the vultures. AJYT Abbott, hopefully we'll get another good villain next season. I hope so. After the Governor, I never thought we'll get a better villain. I had no idea who Negan was at this point, but then Negan came along. Yeah, Negan just changed everyone's perspective about what a good villain looks like, for sure. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, yeah, they should have kept Madison alive, plus her death was dumb. Travis's death was dumb, Nick's death was dumb, and Madison's death was even dumber than that. Travis's death, you could kind of justify that a little bit. Nick's death, you could justify it because the actor wanted out. Madison's death makes no sense. If the actress didn't want to leave, why kill her? Why? It just does not make sense to me. Anaheim, Troy was a complex and interesting character. Definitely a complex character. He had many layers to his character, which I found the most exciting and interesting. Animated Alex, yeah, they were, but killed off too quickly. Yeah, definitely in Fear, they kill all the characters that we feel connected to way too early. Animated Alex, all Fear villains are bland. Compared to The Walking Dead's original, yes. Anaheim, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is fabulous as Negan, but I think the best all-around villain was the Governor. In the show, I disagree. In the show, I feel Negan is a way better villain than the Governor. In the comics, it's very close between Negan and the Governor, but I still put Negan above the Governor, but it's very close. AJYT Abbott, if they kill off Luciana, that makes Travis's death worthless. Yes. And but going back to Luciana, what has she done that's interesting at this point? Nothing. So makes no difference really. The only reason he ended up on the chopper was because he was keeping Lucy safe. Yeah. That goes back to what you said before. Animated Alex, no, I was talking about the wolves and termites. The termites were way better villains than the wolves. The termites were better villains. Overall. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, at least in The Walking Dead, we still have Daryl, Carol, Maggie, Michonne, and a bigger roster. Yes. And that's just it. That's why Walking Dead is still it still has fans watching and interested in the show. As much as it has got a little boring to an extent, The Walking Dead's original. Not boring, I don't want to say that. I'll take that back. It's gotten a little watered down. Let's just say that. It's still very interesting to watch, And it's because they're characters that are characters from the past. There's season 1, 2, 3, 4 characters. that we have connections to, but also there's more interesting characters coming up, not only from the comics, but also original characters. So that's where Walking Dead succeeds and Fear the Walking Dead fails. Anaheim, I think with Fear it's all about politics. They killed Madison because of the ratings. I'm afraid that's exactly why they killed Madison, yes. AJYT Abbott, one of my favorite things about this season is how Alicia and everyone else formed such a strong bond with Morgan. Yes, but it doesn't fit the story, or not the story, but the characters that we've seen. They are not acting like they did before, Alicia and the others. You know what I mean? And maybe you can make the case that Madison's death really pushed them towards this direction. You could say that, yeah. But I feel like it's a little forced, a little bit, to an extent. We are 37 minutes in. Most of my discussion about what this video was about is done, basically, and we've done a good job talking about that already. Maybe we'll go for 10 more minutes of this live stream discussion and we'll kind of end it, because I do want to do some other things as well before I get ready for my reaction for tonight's episode as well. So let's go for 10 more minutes. Epic Zombie Killer, whereas Fear just didn't care and wiped out the entire Season 1 cast except for Alicia and Strand. Yes, and Strand wasn't really a Season 1 character. He wasn't there that much. Maybe if you put it all together, one entire episode. Animated Alex, I think Fear has good new characters this season. Thankfully, they didn't kill off John. Yeah, John is one of the, not the only, but one of the positive things about this season, for sure. Alright, before we leave here, and I'll answer a few more questions, but before we leave here, again, stay tuned for those of you that continuously watch the channel or watch videos on the channel and you support the channel. Stay tuned for exciting news end of next week about some stuff that I'm doing for the channel that I'll get into, but one of the biggest things that you should look forward to is more content. More content, more daily content. But I'll put the video next week talking about it in more details and basically laying out a kind of overview of what the future of the channel looks like. Anaheim, I have to wait in the UK 24 hours to get The Walking Dead and Fear. So in a way, in Europe, all YouTube is spoilery. I haven't thought of that, but yeah, that does suck. I agree. But it's just one day, right? I guess it's not as bad. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, there are 3 things that'll make me quit Fear, and those are if they keep Martha alive, get rid of the SWAT truck, and kill off John Dory. That's a good list. Mine would be going into Season 5, if they, or not going into Season 5, but in the finale and going into Season 5, if they kill off Alicia, if they kill off John, and if they kill off Morgan. Those are my 3 main ones. If they do any of those 3 in the finale, I'm done. Seriously, I'm done with Fear. I hope they don't do that, because I do still enjoy watching some episodes of Fear and just watching Fear in general. But, you know, if they do that, then let's just say it this way. I might not quit, but I'm not going to do a lot of Fear videos. You know what I mean? So those are my top 3. If they kill John, Alicia, or Morgan. If they do any of these 3 things in the finale and going into in Season 5. Actually, in Season 5, if they go into Season 5, then you can take John off that list. Because they could do something where they give us more story with John before they kill him, but there's just no justification for killing Alicia or Morgan, even in season 5. Animated Alex, another season. What makes us like The Walking Dead is we get time to know the character, and it doesn't feel rushed like Fear. Yeah, I butchered that question, but yeah, I agree. One of the key things with The Walking Dead is that they flesh out the characters a lot better than Fear the Walking Dead does. Animated Alex, mine would be if they kill off everyone. Well, if they kill off everyone, then there's no show. So I feel like everyone's going to quit. Tom himself, Anahum, you don't have to wait. You can do it like I do and watch it on some illegal stream, lol. Or just watch it live, you know. But I'll let you guys talk about that. I won't get into that. Anahum, yes, one day, but I still can't resist watching new Walking Dead content when it becomes available. Yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I actually had to do that once. It was before I actually was doing videos a lot on YouTube, but it was a Fear the Walking Dead episode as well. But I had to watch it a day late. But I was actually in the airport and I couldn't watch the actual episode. But I saw videos pop up in my home screen that basically spoiled a little bit about what the episode was. So yeah, I understand what you mean a little bit. AJYT Abbott, Fear relied heavily on character deaths this season. Nick and Madison's deaths were cash grabs and popularity increases. To an extent, Nick, he wanted off the show the character or the actor, so he was a little different, but yeah, I do more or less agree with your comment there. Epic Zombie Killer, yeah, I agree. Just season 4 has broken my trust. The second half a lot more than the first half. Alright, I think I disconnected for a sec. I am back. Let me see, where was I? AJYT Abbott, I have such a bad feeling about Al and June. I really like them, but I feel like they're done most of what they can. You can do with them. June, here's my thoughts. June has a plot armor because of her connection with John Dory. And Al has a plot armor because of how she's used as a tool to get people's backstories. So because of those two reasons, I feel those two characters are safe, for the most part. Tom himself, I don't know any spoilers. It's pretty easy for me to stay away from it. For viewers, yes, it might be easy, but for content creators, it's a lot more difficult, believe it or not. Anahum, oh wow, I have to buy on Amazon. But I would rather wait to buy the box set with extra content. Don't want to buy it twice. Oh, you're going back to how you can just buy it on Amazon right away. Yeah, I get that. Animated Alex, wouldn't the gator get sick? Maybe it's a gator walker, who knows? AJYT Abbott, you think so, Alex? You're just talking about his comment there. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A, it sucks. Fear Season 3 was so good, and it sucks how Season 4 was just so weak. I don't agree. Season 3 was not good. Season 4, first half, is a lot better than Season 3. Second half of Season 4 it has the same quality. It's the same kind of thing as Season 3. Both are the same to me. The second half of 4 and Season 3. Anahum, I'm really interested in Al's story. I know some people don't find her interesting, but I think she's gonna be big. Yeah, there's definitely a chance that they'll do more with the character. Like I said, she's used as a tool, right? So she has that type of plot armor there. Tom himself is just talking about the question Epic Zombie Killer asked. Epic Zombie Killer, Tom, I'm not enjoying Fear Season 4 at all. First half I enjoyed, like I said. And yes, I agree, Ash, with June and Al's plot armor. Yeah. That's how I feel. There might be people that disagree, but I think those two characters have some sort of plot armor. AJYT Abbott, Wendell or Sarah could be goners for me. I actually did my death prediction video for Fear. You can check it out if you want. It was actually a live discussion video as well. But I think Sarah is safer than Wendell. Sarah, because they're giving her these one-liners that make us, or that are making her look like the Abraham version, or the Fear the Walking Dead version of Abraham. They're doing that with her, so I feel like she's safe. But looking at Wendell, not necessarily safe to me. I think they might kill him to push Sarah's story forward a little bit, and to have that be the big impact for Sarah that moves her character forward. Anahum, no, season 3 was epic. Again, we all have our tastes and opinions. Season 3, it had its highs and lows, but overall, it was a little bit underwhelming. AJYT Abbott, Alicia and Strand need to escape unharmed or I will riot. Same with Morgan. Strand might not be safe. I'm putting my money on Strand possibly dying in this episode tonight. But Alicia and Morgan, I 100% agree with you. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A, hey Ash, do you think Robert Kirkman will ever bring Negan back to the comics? I hope so, but I don't think so. AJYT Abbott, the actor. Mo Collins is a high maintenance actor as well, though, but I think you're right, she's safer than Wendell. Yeah, I think she's safer than Wendell. They could just kill both of them. They could do that. But if they want to keep one around, I feel like Sarah is safer than Wendell. Animated Alex, I'd like to see Michonne and Al meet. What makes their interaction interesting to you? I'm just interested to know. Like, for me, it'll be more interesting to see Al and someone like, I don't know, someone else meet than Michonne. I don't see the connection between Al and Michonne. That's the thing. And Hume, I really love this new season 4 characters though. Wendell, Sarah, John Dory, and Al. Yeah, definitely interesting characters. But again, they need to do a lot more with them. They shouldn't just kill all of them right now. You know what I mean? Especially John Dory, because he's a fan favorite. And after you just killed many of your fan favorites, maybe you should stay away from killing your newest fan favorite. You know what I mean? AJYT Abbott season 2 was a snooze fest until Travis went into killer mode. Yeah, that was a good episode. That was a phenomenal episode, actually. One of the best Fear episodes. Epic Zombie Killer, bye Ash, I'll see you. Thanks for the awesome live stream. See you on the next one. Thanks for joining and participating. See you on the next one. Alright, I went more than what I wanted to, but that's basically it for the stream, because I do want to get some other stuff done before the episode later tonight airs, and then, you know, I'll do a reaction to that and I have to edit and everything. So that's basically it. Maybe 2 more questions since you guys posted. And I don't know the actress who plays Sarah, but she's excellent. They have focused on character development rather than storyline. Yeah, she's definitely one of those characters that they are fleshing out a little bit, which is great. HUYT Abbott, I feel like now that Jim is gone, if they killed off Wendell and Sarah, there goes the entire Truck Care Bucks group. That'll be a waste. Yes, completely agree. Okay, rapid fire questions. Epic Zombie Killer. One last question is, will Danielle return? Probably not. Not this season. Animated Alex, what if they keep all the new characters and kill off old characters? That would suck. Anahum, see you Ash, thanks, or thank you loads. Thank you everyone that participated and asked questions. Again, stay tuned for my reaction tonight For those of you that don't get to see the episode until tomorrow, you can check out my reaction later, but stay tuned for my reaction tonight. And also, like I said, stay tuned for more information or channel news information later this week. That's very exciting. I hope you guys are as excited about that as I am to share it with you. But yeah, stay tuned, and that's basically it. One last thing, let me see. AJYT Abbott, see ya, Ash. I lose myself. Looks like it'll be a fantastic episode as long as Martha dies. Let's face it, she will. It'll be great. I hope so. I hope it's a great episode. All right, I'm excited for the episode. And yeah, thank you everyone that participated and joined our discussion here. We might have more discussions I will have more discussion videos live like this in the future. So stay tuned for those as well. So that's it, guys. See you all next time.